All right, on this episode of Bare Knuckle Radio, very excited to be talking to an individual who headlines BKFC 56, which goes down on December the 2nd. A lot of people are calling it the biggest main event in BKFC history, the biggest card in company history, as Mike Perry knuckles up and toes the line against Eddie Alvarez, and great having Mike on the show. How's your day going so far there, man?
Man, I'm doing well. I've been watching my kids all day, and the wife is out getting her hair done so she can look good for fight week. We're all very excited and can't wait to go perform next week.
Yeah, and quite the intriguing fight, too, because I saw an article almost comparing this King of Violence title to the BMF belt, but your opponent actually has a victory over the current BMF champion, Justin Gaethje. So do you think this King of Violence title almost has like a greater weight to it than the BMF title, almost?
Sure, man. I like what you said about, once again, this is the biggest bare knuckle event venue that in the history of bare knuckle, and last time it was the same, and the time before that for me it was the same. So I'm trying to go up bigger and better every time, and it's nice to have a belt. The King of Violence belt sounds like such a cool name, cool belt, and I'm a GMF. I'm a good motherfucker, so I don't care for the BMF belt. But besides, my original BMF title champion would be Jorge Gamebred Masvidal. So these lightweights can Eddie Alvarez is going to go back down to lightweight if he don't retire after I knock him out.
I mean, so you think you're going to outright remove him from the BKFC overall? Like, this will be his last bare knuckle fight?
Yeah, I want to show him the door. I want to send him packing, whether it be out of bare knuckle, whether it be down back to his weight class, 165, 155. If he chooses to come back after this slaughter I put him through, and I want to come out and perform, entertain the fans. I want to bring Eddie hell and beat him so bad he honestly reconsiders coming back into the fight game.
I was going to say so many exciting components to this fight, but something that I'd be curious to maybe get some clarification on, because I saw a post a couple weeks ago of you doing a face-off with Luis Palomino, and the caption referred to him as Alvarez's backup fighter. If Eddie falls out of this fight, would you in fact be fighting Luis Palomino, or what was going on with that post there?
Not really sure. I think that was like some other guys in BKFC and just trying to get some shine to Palomino. I'm a team player, man. It's a team activity to train for fighting. It really is. It takes my teammates to help prepare me for a main event, a big show like this. And not saying that Palomino is a teammate, but he's a commendable guy who works hard for it. He fights hard. He's been very successful in bare knuckle. Not in my weight class, not in my competition bracket as far as I'm concerned, but who knows, if Eddie didn't show up, I'm liking the fight next week. So I've been preparing. I put a lot of effort into this. So if it was just like an idea to make sure that Eddie shows up. Because if he doesn't, I'm not going to sit around waiting for him. I'm going to fight someone.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying in that sort of sense. That, does make sense in a lot of different regards. But you talk about the work you were getting in ahead of this one. It seems like technique boxing is the primary spot. Like, I've seen you getting in work with, Howard Davis, who readies for his own title fight. But it seems like even in other spaces, like, saw you working with like Lyoto Machida, and maybe even looked like you were getting in work with Ian Gary at one point. Can you talk about, I guess, just the last few weeks of training, just how all that's gone and whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, training and fighting is a lifestyle. It's always something that I have to do for my mental health. I have to get good workouts in. I have to try to punch people and get punched back. Sometimes it's really clarifying for me and keeps me sane, keeps my energy in the right places. And yeah, man, I got some good work with Lyoto last week. That was actually at Fusion Excel. It's a MMA gym I've trained with for years. Lots of good guys, good bodies there. Technique boxing coach JT, he's definitely my main, person to look to. My coach, I look up to him. He's such just a great person, the way he takes care of his students. He's got a lot of younger students, much younger, and he's got some students that he's had for like 15 years. He had them when they were kids, tiny little kids, and now they're grown up and professional boxers. So, he's always on task. Coach JT is always working. He's always up early in the morning at one gym, if not going to another, and helping out people, setting things up between gyms. Like, he helps other gyms out a lot too. I don't know how the man has all the energy for everything he does, and then he's always there to support me when it's time to go to battle. I know he's got my back, so I'm confident. The work I got with Lyoto, he hit me with a couple good shots. I was happy to get that work that day. I had no excuses. I felt in great shape. I was ready to spar him. I've been sparring him for a long time, and he's also been sparring me for a long time now. He helped me get ready for the Rockhold fight, and when we were in the ring together a couple of times, I started finding some things that I could do to the taller, rangier, elusive guy that Lyoto is. And when I went and sparred him the other day, I felt like, it was a good time. We got in a couple of rounds. The first round was I didn't get hit like that. The second round that I did with him, he showed me some openings that I have available. So been working on closing those gaps since working with him. And, like I said, no excuses. He's the bigger guy. I am cutting weight. I am on a strict diet. I'm starving every day. And, I'm the first task here is to make this 175-pound weight. I will do that. I'm working on it. Can't mess it up, though, because, later into your weight cuts, you can really easily mess it up. So I'm working on not messing that up. And, this Saturday I might get some more work in with Lyoto, even though Lyoto is quite different from what I will see against Eddie Alvarez. I believe I sparred some people who were similar to how Eddie is or is going to be, but they may have been possibly stronger 185-pound fighters that were short and stocky, and I felt like I did great against them. So, I go to the gym, man, and I'm prepared to battle whoever's going to be the toughest battle that day. And, one thing I can take away from that training with Lyoto that a lot of people saw was, I took them powerful hits from a light heavyweight to heavyweight fighter, and I never stopped coming at you.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who's ever seen you compete can definitely attest to that. I can only imagine the people who've gotten in that direct work with, but someone that you have a bit of a past sparring history, I mean, albeit years ago, Jake Paul, I guess just seeing a lot of the stuff you're doing with overdogs and a lot of great analysis into combat sports, I guess just curious to get your thoughts on that upcoming Jake Paul versus Andre August fight on December 16th, and as far as how you might see things panning out there with that.
Yeah, I actually just heard some more details on it. Was listening to Chael Sonnen talk about it, and apparently it's a small venue, and I think it's great for Jake, and he's fighting an actual boxer. Chael did say something how he's not excited to watch him fight a real boxer. He was excited to watch him fight the names that he knew, like Anderson Silva and the Ben Askren, but I'm excited to see Jake go up against this boxer and in a smaller venue where it's more about the fight. It's more about the fighting itself, and he loves to box. So it's great for him, and, let's see where it goes. I keep going up. That fight is on the radar because, they've used my name a couple of times, and they just kind of weasel their way out of it. So, it's a fight I bet a lot of fighters are interested in getting, and maybe they're interested in it for the money aspect of fighting a Paul, but I'm interested in deflating the egos that they have, that they think they're so special in this fighting game. I've been doing this a long time, and I pride myself on it and all my hard work and the tough fights that I've been through. And obviously they have to work their way up in different ways. We all enter this fight game with a path in mind, and then a path that takes over, and then you just kind of get your lessons as you go along. And I've been in professional fighting for 10 years, so I've learned a lot, and I'm getting really good at what I do.
And it seems like the BKFC is a great framework to be like an independent contractor within, in a certain sense. Like, you have this great BKFC fight coming up, but it would seem like they want you to have certain outside opportunities too. Like, it felt like you got a lot of, I guess, great focus around that Logan Paul, Dylan Dennis situation where you were the backup. So, I mean, potentially options there. Obviously, the Darren Till name was tossed out around that fight cycle. And, Jake Paul looking for an MMA opponent, too. So, who knows? You could fit within that. I guess just the broader thing I'm trying to say is it must be cool to have all these options at your fingertips and be with a company that, I guess, wants to facilitate you being an independent contractor more so.
Absolutely. Bare Knuckle and David Feldman have been great to me and to my family, and they treat us with respect, and I treat them the same. I'm grateful for everything that they've done for us, and I want to give back, and I want to compete to bring the company up higher. And sometimes it doesn't really, sometimes I want to say the right thing that boosts the company, and it's just, sometimes I don't really have that gift to gab, but when it comes to fight night, I get in the ring and I perform. There's all my hard work showcased, and I hope it keeps taking the company up higher, and because I got some stocks in there, so I definitely want to collect.
Yeah, just been a cool combat sports journey to follow along with. Like, I was doing the research and saw you got in work with Roy Jones Jr. in late September, and thought it was cool that your lone gloved boxing fight was on his undercard when he fought, and everything like that, when he fought Vasquez for the WBU cruiserweight title. So just cool how things pan out.
Yes, sir. Definitely, man. Ken Pie Pandas actually set that up with Roy Jones. I got to go train with them up in Destin and Pensacola, and Roy, he definitely got me thinking about some stuff in boxing, some rules to the techniques, and how to capitalize, and how to build, and how to create in the ring.
Yeah, one of the all-time great minds, and you seem like you're very receptive to learning and a great fight mind in your own right, for sure, man. But definitely want to be mindful of your schedule and everything, as I was kind of echoing before. So in saying that, is there maybe a final parting thought you have as we're kind of wrapping up, Mike?
Man, here we go, man. The show is time, you know what I mean? It's showtime. So shout out to Anthony Pettis. It's showtime, baby. Next week, December 2nd, Saturday evening, BKFC app. Shout out Marcus Cypher. Shout out Ken Pie Pandas, Overdogs Podcast. We're going to work next week. I'm going to knock out the Underground King, the underground cringe, Eddie Alvarez, Platinum Perry gonna knock him out. Bare knuckle, baby.
Great getting to have you on the show, man. It's fun getting to, talk to you. Got to talk to you ahead of the Rockhold fight, and some great insights there, and, similar case here. And, yep, awesome having you on Bare Knuckle Radio, man. Very excited to take this all in on December 2nd with BKFC 56. But until then, you have a good rest of your day, man. Thank you for the time.
All right,